The Bloop, Unexplained Sound from the Deep Ocean. Part 1. Good evening, dear listener. As you settle in, feel the softness of your bed, the quiet of your room. Let the weight of the day fall away like a coat dropped at the door. Tonight we're diving deeper than sunlight reaches, deeper than human eyes have ever seen. We're going into the dark, mysterious heart of the ocean, and somewhere in that vast, crushing silence, something once stirred. They called it the bloop. In 1997, a sound was recorded in the South Pacific, a low, powerful, rumbling sound. It rose quickly in pitch, bloop, and then faded into the depths. It wasn't a ship, it wasn't an earthquake, it wasn't mechanical, it was something, and the strange part, it was heard by underwater microphones thousands of kilometers apart. That's how loud it was, so loud in fact, that scientists said if it was an animal, it would have to be far larger than any whale we've ever known. But no known animal matches it. Not in volume, not in pattern. It wasn't repeated. It came once, and then silence. Just one moment, a ripple in the deep, and then nothing, like something massive rolling over in its sleep. Maybe it was natural, maybe it wasn't. But in the darkness under miles of cold, crushing water, something moved, and that mystery has never been solved. Close your eyes, feel the slow sway of the deep sea. You're safe here, floating in thought, and the story is just beginning. Let's imagine ourselves below the waves, deeper than sunlight reaches. Down here, time slows, light fades, pressure builds, and in that darkness, sound becomes everything. The bloop wasn't the only sound ever heard in the deep, but it was different. It echoed like a secret the ocean tried to whisper and then swallowed whole. Scientists, of course, began their search for answers. Could it have been ice? Yes, some thought maybe it was ice breaking away from an Antarctic glacier. But ice doesn't usually echo across thousands of miles. Could it have been an unknown seaquake? Maybe. But the frequency was wrong, and it sounded almost alive. Some researchers began to wonder, what if this wasn't geology? What if it was biology? What if there's something in the depths, hidden, ancient, enormous, something we've never seen? The ocean is vast, after all. We've explored more of space than our own seas. There are creatures we still haven't found. Some fish glow in the dark. Some survive boiling heat, crushing pressure. Some are born and die without ever seeing the surface. So why not something bigger? Something that sleeps for centuries, that moves only when the stars align. A leviathan, a being of myth wrapped in biology. Of course, that's just a theory, a whisper, a dream half remembered. But that's the thing about the deep, it keeps its secrets. Now breathe slow, let your mind drift. Imagine dark waters swirling, ancient and unknowable. The bloop came once and never came again. But in the deep, maybe it waits, or maybe it was never real at all, just the ocean playing tricks on us. Let's stay submerged a while longer. Let the silence wrap around you like a warm, quiet blanket. In this space where time slows and thoughts flow gently, we explore further. After the bloop was first heard in 1997, it became a small obsession in certain circles. Some believed it was just noise. Others that it was a clue, maybe even a message. Not a message we could understand, but a signal, a pulse, a deep, strange hello from a part of the world that rarely speaks. The location was interesting too, close to a place called Point Nemo. That's the farthest point on Earth from any land. A spot in the Pacific Ocean so remote, it's used as a spacecraft graveyard where old satellites and space stations are aimed to crash. Nothing lives there. almost nothing. But what if that's exactly where something would hide, away from ships, from noise, from eyes? There are stories, old sailors' tales about sea monsters, serpents, whales bigger than ships. They used to be called nonsense until we discovered giant squids were real. So what if there's something more, something quieter, that doesn't rise to the surface? The bloop was never recorded again, but other strange sounds have come since. Julia, slow down, train, each with its own unique fingerprint, and while some have been explained, others remain mysteries. You see, the ocean doesn't rush to reveal its truths. It keeps them hidden in salt and silence, and maybe that's the point. Not everything has to be known. Some things are just meant to be felt. A strange sound in the dark, a ripple of the unknown, a whisper from the deep. Now relax and let yourself float with that thought. Let the mystery hold you for a little while. By now you may feel as though you've floated far from land, from time, from all the usual noise of the world, and that's a good place to be for this part of our story. Let's shift the lens now. Imagine the researchers, the people who first heard the bloop. It was picked up by underwater microphones, hydrophones, set up during the Cold War. Their original purpose: to listen for enemy submarines. But instead of machines, they heard something else. Low, deep, organic. At first they were puzzled, but then came the question, could it be a creature? If so, it would have to be massive, far larger than a blue whale, and that idea lingered. It was exciting, unnerving. A single sound, lasting less than a minute, sparking decades of speculation. This is where science starts to blur with imagination, because the human mind doesn't like unanswered questions, so we filled the silence with guesses. Alien submarines, secret government experiments, a being sleeping beneath the Antarctic ice, a sea god long forgotten. The bloop became more than a sound. It became a story, a reflection of our hopes, our fears, our fascination with what we can't see. That's the power of the unknown. It doesn't just hide in the ocean, it hides in us, in the quiet places of the mind. As you breathe in, feel the weight of the deep. As you breathe out, feel yourself letting go of needing answers. Some mysteries are just meant to be, not solved, just heard, just wondered about, just felt. The bloop. It was heard once, in 1997, never again. Later, some scientists suggested it was ice, glaciers cracking or moving underwater. A natural sound, a rational explanation. Maybe. But others still wonder, because if it was just ice, why did it sound so alive? Why did it stir something so deep inside those who heard it? Maybe that's the real mystery. That sound, so brief, so strange, awakened something in us, a longing for the unknown, a sense that the world is bigger than we think, wilder, quieter, more ancient. The ocean keeps her secrets well. She doesn't rush to explain, and maybe that's okay. Some truths live below the surface. They don't need words. They don't need proof. They're just there, echoing softly like the bloop in the background of the world. So tonight, as you drift further into sleep, imagine that deep water again, still, dark, endless, and somewhere down there, a sound you can't name, but somehow recognize. Let it rock you gently. Let it pull you into peaceful silence. The mystery remains. But for now, all is calm, and you are safe. Good night.